All right, guys. Hi. Good morning. How are you? We are going to do, where did I decide? Over here. Under viewer favorites and viewer challenges, we're going to go over here to Heartful. And if you notice, I have some blue dots. These are what I've decided for the rest of the week. So, I don't know what order I'm doing them in yet, but you will know that these are the ones that are coming up for the rest of the week. FYI. Anyway, I'm going to start with Heartful. Got myself a red piece of paper. Sounds good. I want to remind you, because it's Monday. Let's see, can I remind you? Let me do it this way. Hang on a second. Let's open up a new window here. At pattern-collections.com is where you want to go, and if you are enjoying not just my content, but the content of this website, which is beyond spectacular. If you start digging through all the different things, every single one of these tabs takes you to someplace new and interesting, and there are thousands of patterns under, not even just under new patterns or new videos, but just under regular. You can search by new, by skill level, by framework, by theme, by name, by designer. You can search by CPT. There's all sorts of ways you can search. It's amazing. Anyways, Ina does this out of her own pocket. She doesn't ask for anything. If you want to support her, you can either purchase her ebooks. That's one way to support her. She has several in here. I'll go here. I haven't been in here for a while, but there's Creative Tribal Tangling. It's only $8 US. There's these ones that are only $5 US, Creative Pattern Tangling. There's Mandalas and Rangoli, only $5. This one's a free download, a guide to creating harmony in the brain. This one also, I believe, is a free download, Glamour Tangling. And the Tangle Game Volume 1, I believe is free now. Anyway, they're inexpensive. You can purchase those, or if you don't want to make a purchase, you can go here to PayPal. You don't have to use PayPal if that's not something you're comfortable with. You can also use your debit or credit card. It's thinking. And you can make a donation of $5, $10, $20, any other amount. You can make it a monthly donation, and like I said, you can donate with PayPal or with a debit or credit card. If you would be so kind as to make a donation, I would appreciate it, because like I said, Ina does this out of the goodness of her heart. She pays for all of this all on her own, and she has had, let me look all the way at the bottom, over 7,153,000 views on this website. And you know how that works. Every view costs money, right? So if you could help her offset some of those costs, I would appreciate it. And now we're going to go to Heartful. For some reason, it's under the viewer challenges. Somebody is having a challenge with this particular thing. I don't find it difficult, but maybe I've done it before under this video here. Nobody else has taken it on in video form. Come on. Open all the way up. I don't get a lot of signal out here, so I'm sorry. See, takes forever for things to load back out here. It's coming. We can look at the first part of it, though. Maybe. Oh, goodness sakes. Come on. All right, I have to hold it closer to the window. Finish loading, please. Thank you very much. Sorry about that. Okay, so step 1 is to make a teardrop shape. Step 2 is to make a half a teardrop shape coming partly behind that. So you could imagine that this would be a teardrop if it went all the way around to there, right? You can imagine that. So you just don't draw this part. So it's like 2 teardrops, one over the other. And then you just do these curves. So it's basically a heart-shaped leaf kind of a shape. And then you either shade it, or you can do striping or whatever. Here is the sample. They kind of look like some kind of, in this one, they kind of look like some kind of bean or nut of some sort. When I did it before, I did it in sort of a mandala-like shape with the points in the middle. I think I'm going to do it again mandala-like, but I'm going to do it with the points on the outside. I think that's what I'm going to do. So I am going to turn on my light so I can see what I'm doing. I'm going to take my I'll find the middle of this page. Find the middle of the page. You guys know how to do that. You just measure diagonally, corner to corner, and where the 2 lines meet is the middle of that page, right? Right there. And then I'm going to do, shall we do 4 of them? Sure. Just going to do 4 of them. Coming outward on those lines. Don't think this paper is exactly square. I think it's a little bit rectangular, which is okay. And then I'm just going to make a little circle so that I don't go out too far. Okay, so my page, so I want my hearts to be about there, I think. I'm just going to make a little circle, just give me a little guide as to how big I want my hearts. Okay, so let's zoom in. Reach in here. Reach in here. Get me that one. That'll work. Okay. Pen. So let's do ourselves a teardrop. I'm going to start the teardrop. I should have done a small circle right in the middle. Nah. We'll just do it with the pencil. I'll just guesstimate. About like that. Something like that. I don't want them to try to get too close to the middle there. I think that will be sufficient. Something like that. Okay. And I think I'm going to do my teardrop, my first teardrop on this side of my line, so that I have room for the other one here. Something like that. I'm going to make it nice and fat. So I'm going to make a nice fat teardrop starting about about here. A nice big fat teardrop like that, and then a second teardrop coming out like that. So a nice big fat teardrop like this, and another one coming out like that. that. And then one last one, coming up and around like this, and like that. That looks good. I like those. And then what we do is we just do like striping. Just a lovely little curve. Just like so. Doing them all on the big one first, just to get my kind of spacing the way I want it. I think for this one, I'm going to do striping on this, just on this half, and on this half I'm going to do a nice highlight. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be just a little bit offset from that. Not directly touching, but just a little bit lower than that. So they're not quite lined up exactly, maybe. Something like this. I have to keep track of the time today because I actually have to go to work. I'm working a weird shift today and I don't go into work till 11. So I've got an hour or so. So I thought I'd come out here and draw, but I have to pay attention to finish filming like right around 10 o'clock so I'm not late for work. That looks good. I feel like I want to do maybe some smaller ones in here. Maybe this one I'll do striping, and this one I'll do just highlighted and shaded, maybe. I don't know, haven't decided yet. You know me, there's no planning, which is, I think, the joy of this art form, is that you can just do whatever feels right. You don't have to make some grand plans. You just draw. As long as you have a pattern as a base, a starting point for your drawing, then you can just let your imagination go. You know, if you've just started, maybe you want to plan out a little bit more, but once you get the hang of doing patterns and drawing, you can just let loose and start asking yourself the question, what if? What if I do this? What if I do that? Just try it. You know, it's just a piece of paper, and yes, I will get a comment. Don't say it's just a piece of paper. It is. It's just a piece of paper. I'm sorry if you don't like my attitude, but it's just a piece of paper. It's not, you know, you're not drawing on a pattern on an expensive, I don't know, like 1000 does his art. Sometimes people will commission him to do his art on like a Louis Vuitton bag. It's not like you're doing your art on a Louis Vuitton bag. It's a piece of cardstock that probably costs a penny. I'm not invalidating my art. I'm just saying that you don't have to be so precious about it that you can't experiment and enjoy yourself and have fun and maybe come up with something even better than you would have if you were all tense and nervous about it. That's all I'm saying. I do think I'm going to do some striping in here. Let's see, is this a big enough pen? I want to just get a bigger pen. And I'm going to do some striping on these guys. Like that. Did I do striping before? I've forgotten. Well, it looks like I did highlighting and striping every other one. Interesting. Okay. I think I don't want to do it that way. I think I'm going to do it this time. I'm going to do striping on the left leaf and highlighting on the right leaf. And if you don't know what striping is, it's just coloring in every other stripe. And I like to leave a spot uncolored to make it look like a shiny spot. That's all it is. So anytime you do stripes in a design, you can always just color in every other stripe. And voila, you're doing striping. Nothing fancy. Oop. Just like that. Okay, so while I'm doing some coloring in, which will take me a minute, should I answer a question in the book? Sure. Well, we answered that one. If you could have avoided living 1 year from your past, which year would you like to have eliminated? That would have been this year. home phone number of somebody? Nope. If you were kidnapped and could bring along only one personal possession, what would you take? My phone. Duh. Don't imagine that a kidnapper would allow me to take a phone, but my phone. Thank you very much. Then I could get myself rescued. That was an easy question. I don't suppose that was the point of that question, but that's what I did. Okay, turn the page here. If you could be the parent of one famous person, who would you want it to be? Who would I want to be the mom of? I don't know. You know, I'm really bad at these who would you questions because I'm not that good at famous people. You know? I don't, that's just, you guys know, I just struggle with famous people because I am not, I don't follow people. I don't pay that much attention to celebrity and that kind of thing. It's just not my thing. So coming up with a famous person off the top of my head and who I would want to be parent of, it's just hard for me. You wouldn't think that would be a hard question. Trying to think of a young person. Because all the people I know that pop into my head are older people. And it's like, oh, I couldn't be their parent anyway. I'm not the right age. They're more my peer rather than... So I'm trying to think of somebody who's younger. And like I said, I don't follow people, so I don't know famous younger people. I don't know. I don't know how to answer that question. Maybe it will come to me later. It will pop into my head. If you could adopt one personality trait from someone you know, what would you take and from whom? Didn't we already do that question? We did. Oh, my page moved. I knew that sounded like a familiar question. I could have swore I answered that already. Okay. If you could ensure that your children never have one experience that you have had, what would it be? So you're asking what bad experience in my life would I not want to wish on my child? Well, he's already grown, so it doesn't really apply, but near homelessness, severe poverty, yeah. Wouldn't wish that on anybody. That was hard. And I was little. And I didn't know any better. But now that I'm grown, I am aware of the severity of our situation when I was little. You know, little kids don't really understand. I mean, I knew that we didn't have a lot of money growing up, but I didn't really understand that, you know, my mom refused to go on welfare. And so she was working multiple jobs and taking care of us, and I totally respect her for all that she did. I don't know how she got through the day, especially back in the time period when women were not supposed to work outside the home. And if they did, they were not, their job wasn't important. So, employers didn't really respect women in the roles. And matter of fact, she lost one job because they found out she was pregnant. You were not allowed to be pregnant on the job. Once you were pregnant, you were supposed to stay home with your children. You weren't supposed to work anymore. And that was how it was. Well, that's not how it was in my household. So she had to go find another job, pregnant or not, and it wasn't easy. And she did a lot of things that nowadays we would consider dangerous. Like working in the middle of the night delivering newspapers. I wouldn't want to do that now. That's scary. Being out on the streets at 1 and 2 in the morning. But she did what she had to do, and I didn't know any better, but now I do. I know the sacrifices she made. And I appreciate them. More than she will probably ever know. But I wouldn't wish that on my child. I wouldn't wish that hardship where you don't know really how you're going to get through the day. Wouldn't wish that on my kid. And he's doing fine. He doesn't have to worry about that. And I'm so glad for that. Anything else I wouldn't wish on him? Yeah, I wouldn't wish our current situation where he's 60 years old and he loses his job and he can't find another one because he's an old man and nobody wants him. I would not, I'm not going to wish that on him either. Hey, they're all job related. Did I get completely out of frame? Probably. And then of course, my little white pencil, which I'm going to put right here. Also in striping, but in the opposite stripe. And just in the middle. that. Oh, one more. Almost lost out here. I think that's good enough. I'm going to sign this guy. Put the name on it. What was it called? It was called Heartful. Heartful? Heartful. Heartful. Okay, I need to back out a little bit. Alrighty, there you go. Good enough. It looks different, completely different the way I shaded it than I did last time. That's good. I always like to mix it up, do something different. You guys have a great day. I will see you tomorrow, and don't know which one I'm going to do yet, but we will see what I come up with. And yeah, go out and do something nice for someone today. I will do something nice for someone today. I don't know what it is because I haven't done it yet, but I will do something nice for someone today. And I'm glad that I'm feeling good and gonna go to work. So you guys have a good day. Bye-bye.